Hey fam, it's me again. You'll notice you can't see me, this is by design. I recently moved house and I don't have anywhere to film just now, so we're doing a real quick one today. We're going to take a look at a few moments from the Fellowship of the Ring movie that gave me brainworms. These are little earworms or eye worms, or just little things that I notice every time I watch that make me laugh, make me smile, stick in my brain, and ruin my life a little bit. So strap in, and let's do a quick little scavenger hunt of moments in Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, that gave me brainworms. So one of my very favorite scenes in the entire trilogy is anything where Bilbo is still at Bag End. Like Ian Holm eating scenery is so good. Just watching the master work, it's fantastic. And this this little bit where he's welcoming Gandalf into Bag End.
I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left. 1296. Very good year. Almost as old as I am.
Ooh. What year is it? How many are there? 1296. Very good year. Oh, when did this wine come out? 1296, babe. Very good year. Almost as old as I am. Every time. Also, that little jog he does down the corridor. He keeps that kind of running commentary going in the background while Gandalf's bonking his head or whatever. And he goes,
There's some cheese here.
every time I open my fridge, there's some cheese here. Every time. I hear Bilbo all the time. Just like I often hear Gandalf.
I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
Ooh, big one for me. There's also...
It's quite cool.
Oh yeah, those two are major for me. I will say those to my friends, family, and general acquaintances more often than I ought to. This scene, this little line, when Sam and Frodo are about to enter the cornfield of bodily harm and thievery, and Sam says,
It'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been.
"It'll be the farthest away from home I've ever been." This little scene on Weathertop.
Want a tomato, Sam?
What are you doing?
Tomatoes, sausages, nice crispy bacon.
We saved some for you, Mr. Frodo.
Put it out, you fools! Put it out! That's nice!
It seems like such a throwaway, but if you ask me what I want for breakfast, I want tomatoes, sausages, and nice crispy bacon. Thank you very much. Bonus round. Oh, that's nice. Ash in my tomatoes. Huge. Mwah. Just perfect. Excellent. The little bits of Hobbit Tre they managed to work into the film really do hit for me every time.
It's so light. Yes, yeah. Made by the elves, you know.
Anything nice that I own, touch, look at in my life, made by the elves, you know. It's stuck in there, man. I'm ruined. I also, when Gandalf's in his little wagon at the start going through Hobbiton, every camera cut to him, he just looks like the most stoned anyone's ever been.
Good gracious me. Indeed.
And I love that for him so much. Like, look at this guy. His hat is pushed too far back on his forehead. He don't care. It's so funny. Like, this shot, come on. He's ripped. Gandalf's torqued, man. One of my favorite things in kind of, the first half of Fellowship of the Ring is the four Hobbit actors are so locked in on one another that they keep doing stuff at the same time. Like they'll lean in at the same time or they'll look up at the same time. But there's this one part, this one tiny little bit where Billy and Dom look at each other and as soon as they lock eyes, they stand up at the same time, like in perfect unison. And it drives me crazy. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? I can't unsee it. Like there's a bunch of parts of this movie that I can't unsee ever. Like this guy at the very start during the prologue. What is he doing here? Why is he headbanging? Like my eye is irresistibly drawn to this one dude every time. There's also this hobbit getting ready for Bilbo's birthday. He's gotta hammer in that peg. He gets 2 clean tries at it. He misses both. Iconic. Icon. I love this guy. There's also this bit where Frodo's packing to leave and Gandalf's helping him. Like, he rolls this bit of cloth up real nice and Frodo's like, nah, fuck that, and just unravels it completely. Like, I know he's in a hurry, but he's making packing more difficult for himself. It's always just made me laugh. Like, that's such a Frodo Baggins from the book thing to do. Kills me. This fucking wave. This little wave. Hey, bud. That Billy Boyd chose to do here, artisanal. This clip of Boromir falling down. Once I noticed the chomp sound at the end, I can't unhear it. I hear it every time I watch this movie now. I can't ever unhear it. So, sorry y'all. You're in this with me now. The reason for the season, the whole reason I wanted to make this video in the first place, is this orc, this one Uruk-hai, who, responding to the Horn of Gondor, he takes the stairs. And he has to take these tippy-tappy little steps. Doot, 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 doot. It's just one of many little tiny moments, little teeny things about this movie that have wiggled their way into my brain and are happily taking up residence in there. Like, I can't remember anyone's phone numbers. I can't remember what I ate for lunch yesterday, but I do remember Made by the Elves, you know. It's quite cool. So yeah, I would love to know if you have any brainworms from this movie. I will be following up with The Two Towers and Return of the King, which will undoubtedly be shorter. I've seen Fellowship more than I've seen the other two movies. Who among us hasn't? Thank you for being patient with me. As I mentioned, I recently moved house. I've had a very busy year, but I do have some other longer form videos on the way. So thank you again for sticking around. These longer form videos I'm working on are somewhat of a magnum opus for me. It's a topic that's very important to me, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So I will be back soon, I promise. And I hope you have a very lovely holiday. Happy Honda Days. Thank you again for being here. And good morning.